funny thing is, I would argue that this is, I'm talking in generalities here,
Yeah, no, yeah.
the overlying philosophy of China is not ideology, it's pragmatism. We're going to do what works. And if it works, it goes. And if things don't work, they get canceled pretty fast. So, we can look at things like subways, railroads, airports. We can look at digital infrastructure, bikes, sharing, the development of smart cities. These things are overwhelmingly driven by the state, as opposed to other areas which are more entrepreneurial, bottom up. A lot of these top-down initiatives are incredibly powerful and very effective, and the U.S. simply doesn't have those. Stuff doesn't come from D.C. down to reshape how cities are put together very quickly, in a way that you see in China. And people argue that it's a lot about the political economic system, that China has top-down plus bottom-up innovation, and the U.S. is mostly bottom-up. I kind of argue that's true. I think it has more to do with the fact of, I think it's more about effective management. If you do top-down innovation in most countries, it's a disaster. Because most governments aren't that effective. The Chinese teams are incredibly effective. If they say they're going to build a city in Shanghai, like you mentioned, it gets built. It comes in under budget, ahead of schedule every time. Right. So, like that doesn't happen in most countries. That's a lot of countries are like looking at this and they're like, how are they doing that? Like, the government of Nairobi can't build a subway on schedule under budget. It doesn't happen. The political economic system, but it's also just how good is your team?